The following is a production of Hometown and Home Country Radio Sports.
And it's right-handed over by Lorenz Newman from the left side on the front row. In the middle, here's a big hammer by Myolentz and the kill. Reagan Haynes up to Paige Schmidt, right back to Haynes. From the left side, she hammers it down. Played initially by Jensen, now Knapp bump setting for Haynes. Haynes hammers and she drills it home. Knapp, great pass to Schmidt, set for Lentz. Lentz punishes that ball for a Bulldog point.
Video streaming on the Algona Radio YouTube channel is brought to you by Kemna Auto Center, an experience you deserve. Algona Municipal Utilities, community owned for community benefit. Iowa State Bank, helping people succeed. PMC Advantage Insurance Services, having the advantage makes all the difference. Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident. And Electronic Specialties, North Iowa's communication professional since 1961. Now, here's Hometown and Home Country Radio Sports Director, Tyler Lance.
And we come to you live tonight from the brand new gymnasium here at Hampton-Dumont-CAL High School for the Battle of the Bulldogs, as tonight in North Central Conference volleyball action, it's the Algona Bulldogs and the Hampton-Dumont-CAL Bulldogs right here on the Algona Radio YouTube stream and on Hometown Radio, KLGA Algona. It's the final North Central Conference match of the season for both of these schools. The Algona Bulldogs overall a 16-4 record. They are 5-1 in NCC play, and if a win tonight, Algona would clinch at least a second place outright finish in the conference. If Algona wins tonight and St. Edmunds somehow upsets Humboldt, the Bulldogs would clinch a share of the NCC title, but everything Algona can control tonight is finishing at least in second place outright in the conference with a win tonight over Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Meanwhile, Hampton-Dumont-CAL tries to get back on track. They come into tonight with a 4-21 overall record. They have dropped their last 7 matches in a row and will try to finish off the regular season strong before heading into the postseason beginning next week. Again, it's a great venue here. First time the Algona Bulldog fans have seen this brand new high school gymnasium that just opened up this fall here at Hampton-Dumont-CAL High School. A big spacious gymnasium as the crowd still filing in, getting ready for tonight's high school volleyball action between these two schools. We'll step aside for a quick timeout and bring you tonight's first serve coming up after these messages on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Bacon at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
High school sports on Hometown Home Country Radio, brought to you by these sports club members.
American Glass. For all your glass needs, think American.
Central Financial Group, where you belong.
Down to Earth Tree Service, your local Algona tree service.
Ed Service Station, service you can trust.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beisch and Daniel Foth.
Glenn's Green Thumb, from a small seed, something beautiful will grow.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
Sports club members bringing you this game.
Some of the most significant power outages in recent years have been caused by extreme cold weather and severe storms. Whether it's snow, ice, or extreme wind, don't be caught in the dark. At Murphy Farm Services, our top-of-the-line Generac or Cummins generators will automatically power your home in the event of a power loss. Already have a standby generator? Call us today to get on our preventative maintenance list to ensure your machine is running at its maximum efficiency. Contact your local certified ag, electrical, and generator sales and service dealer. Murphy Farm Services, delivering the power you need when you need it.
We've got more sports club members bringing you this broadcast.
Camco Tires, they're all you need to know about tires and service.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
Reeb's Wicked Good Bar and Grill. For wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeb's.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and the surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Algona Pizza Ranch, there's so much to love.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa bone, joint, and sports surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
High school sports on Hometown Home Country Radio, brought to you by these sports club members.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce, 2 sauces for all seasons.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
Dump It, Kossuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Erpelding Excavating Enterprises. Let them take care of your grading, excavating, and drainage needs.
Fairway, everything's easier, fresher, and faster with Algona Fairway.
All bringing you this game.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at moneypass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
AK's Chrome Kitchen. When you come in, your family.
Algona Frame and Auto Body. We meet by accident.
Algona Livestock. Sales every Monday.
Weichert Realty, the 515 agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush beats a full house.
Cotton Grave Farm Management and Land Realty, trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
All sponsors of this game broadcast. Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game.
Erpelding Voigt & Company CPAs, building wealth beyond taxes.
Farm and Home Services. View their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Farmer State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Feed Mill Coffee Company, Algona's locally owned coffee shop.
Good Samaritan Society Algona, senior housing and services rooted in God's love.
Grassmasters, growing satisfied customers.
High Point Land Company, your trusted land partner in Algona. Call 515-320-2491.
Sponsoring this broadcast on Hometown Home Country Radio. We've got more sports club members.
Greg Penning & Company, certified public accountants, where everyone counts.
Holmes Animal Clinic. Animals large and small, they love them all.
Hy-Vee, use the Fuel Saver card. Fill your cart, fuel your car.
J&J Custom Meats, continuing the traditions in Whittemore.
Kossuth Regional Health Center, your home for healthcare.
Lichter's Garage Door Service, a reputation you can trust.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Engineered Farm Drainage, specializing in drainage tile solutions. Visit them on Facebook or engineeredfarmdrainage.com.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
And a hello once again from Hampton-Dumont-CAL High School as we start to wind down the regular season in volleyball. It's the final NCC match here for these two teams as the Algona Bulldogs take on the Hampton-Dumont-CAL Bulldogs. Teams exchanging a quick high five at midcourt right now, right before we get going with tonight's match. The Algona Bulldogs, they'll be down to our left wearing the red uniforms. The white Algona on the front outlined in black. Black numerals on the front and back of the uniforms outlined in white. And the white Bulldogs in the back of the uniform with the black trim down the sides of the uniform sleeves. Bulldogs wearing the black uniform pants. Meanwhile, for Hampton-Dumont-CAL, they are wearing the black uniforms tonight. The white Bulldogs in the front, white numerals front and back outlined in red. Some of the players wearing the black arm sleeves on their jersey, as well as the black uniform pants with the white stripes down the side. At midcourt, there's that ubiquitous Bulldog logo. Algona fans, of course, used to seeing that one, but we are here tonight at Hampton-Dumont-CAL High School in their brand new gymnasium. Over to our left, there's a little opening in the gym where there's a bunch of windows that lets in a bit of natural light, at least prior to the sun going down here. But for tonight, first time the Algona Bulldogs see this brand new Hampton-Dumont-CAL hardwood. Overall, Algona has a 24-2 record against Hampton-Dumont-CAL in the bound era dating back to 2007. Algona winning their last 18 straight against Hampton-Dumont-CAL, as the Hampton-Dumont Bulldogs' last win over Algona was September 13th of 2011. Again, it's 16-4 Algona, 4-21 Hampton-Dumont-CAL in the final NCC match of the regular season. Should Algona win tonight, they will lock up at least second place in the North Central Conference. Humboldt, the lone undefeated team in the conference, beat Algona earlier. They're taking on St. Edmund tonight, so if St. Edmund can somehow spring an upset and Algona can win tonight, they would tie for first in the NCC. Getting things started tonight, it is Gabby Van Tiger down to our left. She'll serve left to right, and we are underway from Hampton-Dumont-CAL High School as Elsie Cooper makes the first touch for Hampton-Dumont-CAL, and it's popped over the net by the Hampton-Dumont-CAL's Bulldogs, Helskov. From the left side, Kate Limbaugh attacks. Can't put it down, though, as Eilderts, the freshman, libero for a tremendous dig, and Helskov plays a ball down the line that might have been heading to the boundary, but Knapp played it for Algona. They'll get it middle to McLaughlin. McLaughlin hits it hard, and that one's going to stick on the Hampton-Dumont-CAL side for a point. Elsie Cooper had the touch there for Hampton-Dumont-CAL, but couldn't pop it up in the air enough for one of her other teammates to come get the ball, and Algona wins a drawn-out point here on the first volley, 1-0. Twisting serve off the arms of Eilderts and out of bounds. Van Tiger will deliver the early kill for Algona, and the Algona Bulldogs out to an early 2-0 lead on the road. Gabby Van Tiger, now 24 aces on the season, serving at 93.5% efficiency on the year. Puts the ball in the air again. It's a line drive towards the middle this time where Albers hits it up in the air to Helskov. Now a free ball played over by Eilderts for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Van Otterloo setting it on the backside for Dodds. Dodds right-handed attack. Doesn't go down as it's pinballed around by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. On the first touch, Helskov just snuck that one over the net. Bulldogs deflected up in the air. Knapp plays it over. A diving save for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Ball's overpassed and smacked down by Hayden McLaughlin. It was a nice save for Hampton-Dumont-CAL on the scramble drill, as it was Cooper making that diving save, but on the save, she popped the ball over the net. It fluttered right into the Bulldog front row, and Hayden McLaughlin finishes off another Algona point, making it 3-0 in the first set. Jump serve by Van Tiger, rainbows into the back row, and lands in play. Hampton-Dumont-CAL let that one go, thinking it was heading out of bounds, and already an early timeout by head coach Sarah Miller and the Hampton-Dumont-CAL Bulldogs. A good start on the road here for Algona, looking to win their 6th match in a row. Bulldogs on Tuesday night took care of business, had the crosstown showdown against Bishop Garrigan. Always a high-energy match in that one. Bulldogs did start off a little bit slow at home on Tuesday night, dropping the first set 25-20, but after that, took 3 straight from the Golden Bears to take the crosstown showdown and pick up win number 5 in a row, their 16th win of the season. Of course, regular season, like we said, winding down. Next week begins the postseason, but prior to that point, of course, tonight's match, and then Algona hosting a weekend home tournament to get that final tune-up in before the postseason rolls into Algona on Tuesday night. We'll talk more about what the postseason bracket looks like later on in tonight's broadcast, but for right now, we'll resume here with Algona on top 4-0. Gabby Van Tiger on the approach from the far side of the court, angles it towards the middle of the back row to Albers. It is floated up in the air by Hansen, guided over the net by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Now it's a bump set for Knapp, an attack by Limbaugh, deflected at the net, and pushed back over by Hansen for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Knapp looks towards the right side to Dodds, hits it across the court, and Dodds' attack flutters a little bit too far and out of bounds. Hampton-Dumont-CAL is on the board, making the score 4-1. Kenley Hansen, the junior setter for Hampton-Dumont-CAL, will serve right now. Hampton-Dumont-CAL just over 87.5% efficiency as the serve dug out by Van Tiger just off the top of the hardwood. Set by Van Otterloo, attack by Limbaugh. Nice dig by Eilderts for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Helskov has the attack, and she puts that one down, just kept it in the boundary on the far side. Or Helskov, beg your pardon, and it's 4-2 as Hampton-Dumont-CAL tacks on a couple of points in a row here coming out of the timeout. Serve is up in the air by Hansen. It's dropping quickly and it falls in. 3 straight for Hampton-Dumont-CAL off the Hansen ace. That ball kind of fluttered in, had a little bit of a strange rotation on it that caught the Bulldog back row. Van Tiger off balance. She laid back on that one a little bit too far and it drops it in front of her as Hansen picks up her 12th ace of the season. Bulldogs receive the serve this time, get it to McLaughlin, a cross-court attack. Nice dig by Albers in the back row. Hit over the net, and it is snuck in there for a point by Cooper as she squeezed that one past the Bulldog defense with a little bit of a change up there to throw Algona off, and we are tied at 4 apiece. So Hampton-Dumont-CAL responding well out of that Coach Miller timeout as they've ripped off 4 straight points. Another serve for Kenley Hansen. Van Tiger and Knapp converge in the back row. Van Otterloo sets middle for Dodds. Dodds got stuffed that time by Braca, and Hampton-Dumont-CAL has grabbed the momentum back on top 5-4 right now. Braca timed that one perfectly, getting the block, the solo block in the middle. As Hansen arcs over another serve. Van Tiger, good pass in front of Van Otterloo, looks left side for Limbaugh. Limbaugh attacks. They tried to block it, kept alive nicely initially by Hampton-Dumont-CAL, but we've got a whistle here on a stoppage of play, giving the Algona Bulldogs a point. Got the closed fist signal earlier that time, and the Bulldogs of Algona have tied it up at 5 apiece. As Macy Knapp, the Bulldog libero, wearing the black uniform, sends a twisting serve towards the far side. Eildirks has the ball go off her hands and out of bounds. They went after the freshman libero that time, and Eildirks could not keep that first touch in play as Knapp tacks on an ace for Algona. 28th ace of the season for Macy Knapp. Arcs the serve over, sends Albers backpedaling in the back row. Ball's popped up high in the air to Helskov, who hits it over to Van Otterloo on the Algona side. A bump set by Knapp, an attack by Limbaugh, and Limbaugh blisters that one over the net for a Bulldog kill. 7-5 Algona. Nice cross-court attack there for Limbaugh, who comes off a 33 kill night in that win over Bishop Garrigan. Another serve by Knapp right at Albers in the middle of the back row of Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Set in the middle for Bronca this time, guides it over, but we've got a whistle and a Hampton-Dumont-CAL point this time, as it's going to be a 7-6 score here. Attack on one for the Hampton-Dumont-CAL Bulldogs, as Algona is up by 1. Helskov for the serve, sends a laterally spinning serve over to Van Tiger. Got it to the front to Dodds, sits backside for Limbaugh. Limbaugh blisters that one over the net, and it stayed in play along the far side. Another kill for Limbaugh, and it's 8-6 in favor of Algona. Limbaugh comes into tonight, approaching the 300 kill mark on the season. 282, so you give her 18 kills tonight, she'll hit 300, as there's a nice serve by Charlie Dodds, and that one is going to bounce on the hardwood in front of the Hampton-Dumont-CAL back row for an ace. Dodds puts the Algona Bulldogs up 9-6, as the Bulldog Junior sets up in the middle of that basketball painted area on the court. The officials telling the back judge there to get a little closer to the line to get a better view. Once the officials are all adjusted, Dodds serves, but that one is going to ripple into the net for a service error to give it back to Hampton-Dumont-CAL here and make the score 9-7, as Algona continues to lead. Bridget Bronca, the 5'8" sophomore for Hampton-Dumont-CAL, wearing jersey number 1. Has her side turned to the net as she uncoils and sends a twisting serve towards Knapp in the Algona back row. Van Otterloo pops that one over the net on the second touch. It is sent right back over by Hampton-Dumont-CAL, as that is Morton putting that one down. I don't think Van Otterloo meant to do that one. That set was in the direction of Limbaugh, but instead of going to Limbaugh, it fluttered over the net right to where the Hampton-Dumont-CAL front row is rating, and that'll make the score 9-8 as Algona's lead at just 1 right now. The sophomore Bronca reloads and fires, but the serve will go way out of bounds to the far side of the court, and the Algona Bulldogs maintain the lead up 10-8. Van Tiger checks out. Haynes in for the Bulldogs, and Limbaugh back to serve right now. Top 5 in the NCC in aces is Limbaugh with 37 coming into tonight. And there's number 38 right on cue. Served right at Albers that time, hitting it off her hands and having it shoot out of bounds for a Bulldog point. That being the Algona Bulldogs. Got to keep that straight here tonight. And the score is 11-8. So 38 aces by Limbaugh. Sends that one into the middle of the back row to Helskov. Helskov's pass up front is towards the net, and Hansen could not stay out of the net. Well, she was called for 2 touches anyways. Almost looked like she grazed the net as well, but in any case, it's an Algona point, and it's 12-8. Limbaugh sends it over and just trickled over the tape, deflected out of bounds by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Bronca had the diving attempt in the back row, but it's another ace for Limbaugh, and Hampton-Dumont-CAL will expend their second timeout of this first set. So Hampton-Dumont-CAL has burned both of their timeouts, with Algona on top 13-8. We'll break for a timeout ourselves and come back after this on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
Thank you to these sports club members making this broadcast possible.
Runkey Brothers. Experience the Runkey Brothers difference for all your auto service and repair needs.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
TAFE Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong, keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
Tangle Salon for all your cuts, colors, hair extensions, and massage therapy needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying Steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
Ulrich Construction, let them do the work.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service, call 295-SOFT.
All bringing you this broadcast.
Set number 1 at Hampton-Dumont-CAL High School. The Algona Bulldogs on top of the Hampton-Dumont-CAL Bulldogs, 13-8. And the freshman Kate Limbaugh reloading the chamber for another serve. Sends it towards the back row as Albers goes back pedaling. Got it up front to Hansen. Bump sets back outside for Albers. Taps it over the net. Coming out of the back row is Limbaugh. Van Otterloo puts it over on second contact. Pinballed around by Hampton-Dumont-CAL, but they're going to say, I believe Helskov there touched the net. Or one of the Hampton-Dumont-CAL Bulldogs, and it's 14-8 Algona. Hampton-Dumont-CAL really struggling here for the serve of Kate Limbaugh to get anything going. Limbaugh from the far side angles a serve as a line drive that just deflected over the net. Overpass by Braca, and Haynes is going to flush that one for Algona. That Limbaugh serve comes in with a lot of velocity. It goes off of Braca's hands faster than she anticipated, and right to the waiting arms of Reagan Haynes, who gets her first kill of the night. 15-8 Algona, starting to pull away. Knuckleball serve, diving out of the back rows. Albers hit over the net by Dunning, but played by Hampton-Dumont-CAL as Bulldogs of Algona can't punish the overpass. Morton sends it back to the Algona side. Short set Van Otterloo. Dunning tries to hit it over, got blocked right back into her lap. Algona tries again. Van Otterloo to Haynes, blocked by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Algona fishes it out of the net, and it's a free ball played over by Limbaugh. A great save for Algona. Hansen sets, Albers tips. Right there is Dodds to cover the ball for Algona. Now it's Dodds hammering, and Dodds puts it off the block for an Algona kill. Boy, was that a hard-fought point for Algona. Some of their best opportunities were well played by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. A couple of diving digs on the Hampton-Dumont side down to our right, but ultimately Dunning drills one off the block to give Algona the point. And now an ace by Limbaugh on the very next serve. She fires that one off the hands of Helskov for Hampton-Dumont-CAL, who mishandles that ball in the back row, trying to play it overhanded, and it's 17-8 Algona. Limbaugh another short serve, and she drops it in for another ace. Helskov had her feet caught in quicksand that time and couldn't get out of the back row to dig that out. 18-8 Algona. Moments ago we were at 9-8, but a 9-0 run by Algona has given them command of this first set. Limbaugh rockets that one into the back row. Albers tries to chase it down, but she cannot. It's off her hands and out of bounds. A little extra juice on that one by Kate Limbaugh. She's like a really good baseball or softball pitcher. She is mixing the speeds right now and keeping that back row of Hampton-Dumont-CAL totally off balance. Threw in a couple of floaters over the net, a couple of shorter serves, and then rocketed that last one into the back row if whoever dared to try to play that. Limbaugh will float this one over the top as well, and it drops in. It drops in for an ace, and it's 20-8 Algona. The communication is crumbling on the Hampton-Dumont-CAL side as Hansen and Albers got caught looking at each other, and neither of them took that ball from Limbaugh. 20-8 Algona. Another serve by Limbaugh. This one's with some velocity, deflected backwards by Hampton-Dumont-CAL, and they can't return this one either. First touch to Albers, deflected backwards, and Braca tried to chase it down out beyond the baseline, but Limbaugh just has this defense totally tied up in knots right now, and it's 21-8 Algona. Not the first time we've seen the Bulldogs go on a run like this with Limbaugh serving. Saw it earlier this year against Charles City with a big 19-0 run, if I recall correctly. The serve is overpassed back to the Algona side. Ball will flutter over the net and drop in. Every break is going Algona's way. Taylor Van Otterloo in the Algona front row is getting ready for a little jousting match at the net, but she didn't even have to touch the ball as it just dropped over the net, and no one could make contact for Hampton-Dumont. A fluttering serve by Limbaugh, deflected off to the side, pinballed back into the middle, and pushed over the net by Helskov for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Van Otterloo sets for Dunning, flies in for the attack, and Dunning hammers it off the block for the Bulldogs. 23-8, and the run continues. Algona had to run a little offense there, couldn't just rely on the serve, as the ball was returned that time by Hampton-Dumont-CAL, but good set. Dunning flying in from behind for the attack, and it's a huge lead right now. Another line drive serve, overpassed by Braca, and flushed by Dunning. 24-8 Algona. Boy, out of the Hampton-Dumont-CAL timeout, the momentum has not stemmed at all. This has been a 15-0 scoring run by Algona to turn a 9-8 lead into a 24-8 advantage. Limbaugh rockets that one into the net, and the run will come to an end as she finally misses on one of those serves, but a long, accurate, and devastating run of serving there by Kate Limbaugh to give Algona total command of this first set, on top 24-9. And Hampton-Dumont-CAL will try to pick up the pieces here with their junior Elsie Cooper. Set point for Algona. Cooper arcs this one over. Limbaugh comes out of the back row to get it. Tapped over on second contact by Van Otterloo. Hit over by Albers, and Albers kept that one inside the boundary for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Angles that one cross court and gets the Hampton-Dumont kill to make it 24-10. Albers on the season, one of the kill leaders for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. That's her 120th of the year. Second on the team to Helskov. Next serve sent over to Algona. Dodds gets a good pass to Van Otterloo. Here comes Haynes for the attack. Haynes can't quite put that down. A good deflection by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Braca sends it back over. Nap up front to Van Otterloo. Haynes tries again. Angles towards the back corner. And that one's in play for Reagan Haynes. A perfect cue shot into the back corner of the Hampton-Dumont-CAL defense. And Algona rolls in set number one, taking it 25-10. We'll break for a quick timeout. Set number two coming up after this from Hampton-Dumont-CAL High School and on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
More sports club members bringing you this game.
North Iowa Appliance Center, Highway 18 East in Algona, where they sell the best and service the rest.
Oakcrest Funeral Service, celebrating a life lived.
Phil's Auto and Truck Repair, service is the difference.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Schindler Lawn Care and Landscaping, 515-320-3840 or schindlerlawncare@gmail.com.
Signworks Inc. for all your signage needs and printed apparel. Stop in or call 295-9544.
All sponsoring this broadcast on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Bacon at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
Back here at Hampton-Dumont-CAL for set number 2 action between the Algona Bulldogs and Hampton-Dumont-CAL Bulldogs. Algona right now on top 25-10 here in this action on KLGA and on our Algona Radio YouTube stream, with our video coverage being presented as always by Chemna Auto Center, Algona Municipal Utilities, PMC Advantage Insurance Services, Iowa State Bank, Algona Frame and Auto Body, and Electronic Specialties. What a run that was for Algona, at one point ripping off 15 straight points in a row during the first set, turning a very close set into a commanding win for the Algona Bulldogs. And now on top 1-0 here, Hampton-Dumont-CAL will have to make the adjustment here in the second set, and it's pretty simple. They've got to improve that serve receive. A lot of service aces for Algona, even the balls that weren't aces. Hampton-Dumont-CAL never really got that passing game going, never really established much of an offense. You know, you've got a couple really good athletic hitters with Albers and Helskov, but those two were not able to really get involved just because those first passes off the serve weren't anywhere near the setter, and the whole Hampton-Dumont-CAL operation was just kind of scrambled by the way the Algona Bulldogs served and by the way Hampton-Dumont-CAL serve received. So you've got to tweak that lineup. You've got to try to get in a rotation here with your back row defenders. You've got the best ones back there to handle this Algona serving attack and find a way to locate your setter. Kenley Hansen is the setter for Hampton-Dumont-CAL, and we hardly call their name in that second set just because the serve receive was just all over the place for Hampton-Dumont-CAL and not able to stop Kate Limbaugh, among other servers for Algona. Dodds had an ace in there as well. Van Tiger had an ace for Algona in that serving barrage. Macy Knapp all doing some good jobs serving here. Hampton-Dumont-CAL will start with the ball. The sophomore Megan Sievers down to our right. We'll see if Hampton-Dumont-CAL can get off to an early lead here and try to provide some cushion before Algona gets a chance to serve. Serve rainbows over the net to Van Tiger. Here's Van Otterloo setting for Limbaugh. Limbaugh brings down the hammer, but the ball was out of bounds. Limbaugh attacking from the left side, pulled it out of bounds to her left. And Hampton-Dumont-CAL grabs the first point on top 1-0 in the second set. This is a young Hampton-Dumont-CAL team. As the sophomore receivers reloads and arcs it towards the far side of the court. First touched by Limbaugh, then by Knapp. Back to Limbaugh, who curls around and hits it over. And it's dug around, pinballed out, and hit over by Morton on the Hampton-Dumont-CAL side. Algona tries again of Limbaugh. Limbaugh wipes it off the block for a Bulldog kill. And we are tied at 1. Really nice dig in the back row by Sievers for Hampton-Dumont-CAL off that first Limbaugh hit, but ball ends up back in Limbaugh's hands, and she does not miss on that second opportunity. Knapp rainbows the serve over the net. Here's Hansen bumping it up in the air to Albers, who will play a free ball to the Algona side. Knapp up to Van Otterloo, short set for Dunning. Dunning rifles that one towards the back row, but that one will fly out of bounds beyond the boundary, and it's 2-1 Hampton-Dumont-CAL. You look at this Hampton-Dumont-CAL varsity roster, 5 juniors, 4 sophomores, and 3 freshmen, so not a single senior on this varsity volleyball roster. A really young team here, one that comes off a 17-12 campaign last year, but just 4 wins so far this season. As Dodds puts it over on second contact. Right there, though, Sievers for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Here's a set for Albers. That ball hammered by Dodds, and she puts it down. Dodds timed that one perfectly to reject that ball by Albers for Hampton-Dumont-CAL, and we are tied at 2. Dodds back to serve for Algona. Line drives it over the net. Pass will go up front to Sweeter, who sets. The attack by Morton doesn't go down as the Algona Bulldogs dig it out and hit over by Limbaugh for Algona. Played in the back row by Sievers. Here's Albers on the left side attack. Dug out by Van Tiger in the Bulldog back row. Van Otterloo sets for Limbaugh. Limbaugh brings down the punishment and hammers it off the block. 3-2 Algona on another Limbaugh kill. Hampton-Dumont-CAL last year, they're part of that three-way tie for third place in the conference. Algona and St. Ed's also in that third place tie, a 4-3 conference record. Here's a bump set over to Albers. Albers can't put it down on those. Van Tiger digs for Algona. Van Otterloo getting it over to Limbaugh. Limbaugh guides that ball across the net. Ball's getting stuck here in the Hampton-Dumont-CAL back row, and it's hit over by Halskov. Set by Van Otterloo, attacked by Dunning. Partially blocked by Hampton-Dumont-CAL as they keep it alive. Ball's near the net. Albers trying to fish it out, but she cannot. It's an Algona point, and it's 4-2 in favor of the Algona Bulldogs. Hampton-Dumont-CAL just losing track of communication there as who should take the ball. Serve sent over by Dodds. Going into the knees to dig it out as Cooper. Here's an attack by Albers. Albers wipes it off the Bulldog block attempt. Sends it spinning towards the boundary, and it's 4-3. Hampton-Dumont-CAL trading points of Algona early in this one, as Algona's lead at 1 right now. But that 17-12 campaign last year for Hampton-Dumont-CAL, their only winning season since 2011. That 2011 season, also the last year they defeated Algona. That serve trickles over the net, and Limbaugh gets called for a lift. So we are tied at 4. Limbaugh did not think that one was going to get over the tape. Had a little topspin and it crawled over as Coach Berkey is trying to say that Limbaugh hit that with a closed fist. But the referees not agreeing with that assessment, and they do call Limbaugh for a lift on that play to tie it at 4. Albers sends the next serve over as Knapp backpedals and gets it up front to Van Otterloo. Sets it high in there for Limbaugh. She parachutes in and hammers it down. No lift needed on that one. 5-4 Algona. Another good set by Casey Van Otterloo. She gives Limbaugh on the outside, and really Haynes and McLaughlin too, the other big attackers for Algona. She gives them some very hittable balls. Sometimes those setters can go unnoticed, but Van Otterloo shouldn't go unnoticed for Algona as Limbaugh serves, put over on second contact by Sweeter, dug by Dodds, but that ball will flutter underneath the net as Algona cannot make a second touch on that, and it's tied at 5 here in set number 2. So Hampton-Dumont-CAL happy to keep Limbaugh away from the line serving as she only gets one serve on that sequence. Serve is rifled over the net by Morton, set to the outside to Haynes. Haynes drills that one home from the left side. Another perfect set right into the nitro zone of Haynes, who brings down the hammer and puts Algona back on top by 1, 6-5. Back and forth, much like the first set was prior to the big Bulldog run, as Dunning, the Bulldog Jr., puts it in the air, twisting towards the near side of the court. Sweeter will try to bump set it near side to Halskov, that is, and Halskov swings and hits it into the top of the net. Algona goes on top 7-5. Halskov had that big elevation that time, leaping up for a huge kill, but the timing of that set was a little bit off, or the timing of that jump as she got underneath the ball. Almost jumped a little bit too early on that. Hampton-Dumont-CAL, Halskov sends a free ball over to Algona. Limbaugh up to Van Otterloo. From the middle, it's Haynes punching it over the net. Dug in the back row by Albers. Sweeter looks near side to Halskov. Hammers it cross court, but it flies out of bounds for an Algona point, and it's 8-5. Well, Halskov's a 5'8" sophomore who just had the attack error there, missing out of bounds. But watching her warm up, she is a really good athlete for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. You get her a few settable balls, and she can send some velocity over the net. Here's a set for Halskov, curling around and tipping it over the net. Dunning tries to dive and save it, but she cannot. That time, not a ton of velocity by Halskov, but saw an opportunity in the near side corner in front of that Bulldog bench and put it there perfectly, where it would be a really tough play for Dunning to get to that. So kill there for Halskov, and that'll give the side out to Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Get Hansen on the line. Hansen serves end over end. Limbaugh passing up front to Van Otterloo. Sets it high in the air for Haynes. Lean back hammers. Tipped to the net by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Ilderts pops it up in the air to Halskov, and Halskov hammers down into the net. Halskov wanted to go for the huge kill shot that time, but may have been better served taking a little off that one and arcing the ball a bit as her attack goes awry, and it's 9-6 Algona. Serve punched over by Van Otterloo, mishandled by Ilderts, off her hands and out of bounds. And Algona ace, and it's 10-6. And Coach Miller for Hampton-Dumont-CAL, sensing a little momentum getting away here, will take the timeout. So Algona on top by 4 in set number 2. We'll come back to Hampton-Dumont-CAL High School after this on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
AK's Chrome Kitchen. When you come in, your family.
Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident.
Algona Livestock, sales every Monday.
Weichert Realty, the 515 agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush beats a full house.
Cotton Grave Farm Management and Land Realty, trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Algona on top of Hampton-Dumont-CAL 1-0, and Algona also leading in set number 2, 10-6, as Hampton-Dumont-CAL just expended one of their 2 timeouts of this set to try to get the serve receive in order against Taylor Van Otterloo. The Bulldog Jr. twists the serve over the net as Albers plays it for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. A set to the outside to Halsco, pushes it across the court. Right there, Haynes for Algona on the dig. The set goes right back to Haynes, hammers it over, but Halsco there for the dig. Punched over on second contact by Hansen for Hampton-Dumont. In the middle, it's Hayden McLaughlin, guides it over. Pinballed around by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Ball's near to the net. It is forced over by Cooper, but kept alive by Algona. Then it goes into the hands of Limbaugh, who hits it over, and it drops into the Hampton-Dumont-CAL defense for a Bulldog point, 11-6. A couple of near opportunities for Hampton-Dumont-CAL to pick up a point, but nice play defense by Algona. A little bit of a fire drill there for a minute, but they end up working it out in the end. Here's a bump set by Hansen looking for Halscove. Halscove, big hammer, and she drills it off the block. That's the first time tonight we've really seen a perfect pass, a perfect set, and the spike timed well by Halscove. That ball ran into her nitro zone, and it's 11-7. Algona on top of Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Halscove sends the serve over to Limbaugh in the middle of the Algona back row, gets it up to Van Otterloo, shorts it to McLaughlin, pushes it over the net. Some bumping on the Hampton-Dumont-CAL side, and they can't return the ball. Hampton-Dumont-CAL had players running into each other after that initial touch by Noelle Hansen, and it's 12-7 in favor of Algona. This is one of those nights against a young and inexperienced team. Sometimes you just have to put the ball in play onto the Hampton-Dumont-CAL side of the court and force them to make a mistake. Van Tiger serves over the net. Eilderts digs it out for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. A bump set to Albers. She took a little off that one and threw a changeup into the Bulldog defense as Albers drops that one home. A couple of Bulldog players crashed towards the net, and there is an open space in the middle of that hardwood that Albers took advantage of. It's a 4-point margin right now, 12-8 Algona, as Hampton-Dumont-CAL tries to stick around in this second set. The sophomore Sievers to serve right to left on the radio dial. The southpaw twists the serve over the net, sends Knapp scrambling towards the back corner. Van Otterloo sets for Limbaugh. Limbaugh hammers across the court, off the hands of Sievers, and into the Hampton-Dumont-CAL student section. 13-8 Algona, and they'll get the serve right back here from Macy Knapp. Not a lot to cheer about for the Hampton-Dumont student section tonight as Knapp sends the serve over. Here's Hansen setting for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Morton flies it, and Morton sticks that one on the Bulldog side. Limbaugh went up for the block that time. Limbaugh and Dunning for Algona, and a bit of a grimace on Limbaugh's face after that, but not an injury, more so just, boy, did Morton hit that one hard right at me. Almost a little wake-up call there. Here's the serve by Hampton-Dumont-CAL's Elsie Cooper. The set by Dodds, the attack by Dunning, and she nearly swings and misses on that ball. The timing of that play just off for Algona, and back-to-back points for Hampton-Dumont-CAL to make it 13-10. Cooper punches the serve over the net. Dunning to Dodds, looks backside for Limbaugh. From the right side, she attacks, but tipped to the net by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Albers will push it back across, but we have a whistle and a 2-hit call against Albers to give Algona the point and make it 14-10 Bulldogs. Dodds sends the serve left to right on the radio dial. First touched in the back row by Sievers. Albers on the boundary, guides it back to the middle. It's pushed across the net to Algona. Here's Dodds setting for Limbaugh. Parachutes in through the attack. Blocked back by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Kept alive by Algona. Now it's tipped over by Limbaugh. Pinballed around in the Hampton-Dumont front row and pushed down the line. Knapp comes down to get it. Van Otterloo sets middle to Dunning. Dunning a cross-court hit. Dug out by Sievers for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Now it's Albers flying in for the tip. Over the net, it goes to Van Tiger. Van Otterloo sets for Limbaugh. Limbaugh hammers. It is deflected. Albers right there for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. And the free ball played over the net by Cooper. Van Otterloo in the middle to Dunning. Dunning hits it towards the boundary, and it drops in just inside that white paint along the sideline, and Dunning earns a hard-fought, drawn-out point for Algona, 15-10. Boy, those can be so deflating, especially when you're the team on the short end of the scoreboard, as Hampton-Dumont-CAL is right now. You fought so hard from that point, but ultimately Algona's defense wins out as a couple players jousted the net there. It was Limbaugh and Sweeter's going to win that one as ball did not stay in between the posts on the Bulldog touch. On the Algona Bulldog touch, that is. Albers serves into the back row. That ball will handcuff Dodds. Van Otterloo comes out to save the ball, but on the third touch, Knapp can't get that over the net. I don't think Knapp thought that Van Otterloo was going to get all the way out there and save that ball. Looked like she had figured the point would end there after that initial Dodds touch, and it's 15-12. Algona still hanging on to this lead over Hampton-Dumont-CAL. From the near side, it's Albers angling the serve towards the middle. Played by Knapp, now Van Otterloo. Floated over by Limbaugh. Here's Hampton-Dumont-CAL setting up a Morton attack. Morton brings down some big-time punishment and got the kill. 15-13. Boy, Morton's had some big, or beg that, that's Subert, beg your pardon. Subert, number 12 for Hampton-Dumont-CAL, has had some big swings tonight. 15-13. Van Otterloo setting for Limbaugh. Limbaugh from the left side, guides that one across. A diving save in the back row, and it's pushed over the net, and that one's gonna stick for Sweeter. It was Albers, or check that out, it was Braca who made the diving save for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Got the ball up front just over the top of the net, and Sweeter, the 5'7" freshman, was just able to push it over and give the ball the final boost it needed. It's 15-14, Algona's lead now trimmed to 1. Van Otterloo setting left side for Limbaugh. Limbaugh fires that one towards the back row, but it goes out of bounds. Didn't miss by much, but it does miss, and Hampton-Dumont-CAL has tied it up at 15 apiece. And Coach Berkey will ask for a timeout for Algona. So a timeout's called, we'll take it as well. Tied at 15 in the second set on KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
We've got more sports club members bringing you this broadcast.
Camco Tires, they're all you need to know about tires and service.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
Reeves Wicked Good Bar.
As we come back here to Hampton-Dumont-CAL High School. Sorry, folks, lost audio there for just a second, but we've got it back now as it's Kate Limbaugh delivering a kill for Algona, and the Algona Bulldogs go ahead 16-15. Limbaugh has been racking up the kills once again tonight and is very likely to pass the 300 kill mark on the season here at some point, as she needed 18 coming into tonight to get to that point. Her serve will trickle over the tape, a diving save by Arbors in the back row for Hampton-Dumont, and Hellscove will push it over. Limbaugh up front to Van Otterloo in the middle of the Dunning. Dunning hits it hard, and Dunning kept it inside the baseline. It's another Algona kill, and it's 17-15 Algona Bulldogs, getting the first 2 points out of the timeout by Coach Missy Berkey. And again, it's Limbaugh serving right now, which was that big run in the first set with Limbaugh serving. Her serve trickles over the tape, passed over the net by Hampton-Dumont-CAL, dumped over on second contact by Van Otterloo, and she puts it down. 18-15 off the Van Otterloo kill. Hampton-Dumont-CAL barely kept that serve off the hardwood as Cooper dove out of the back row to make the play on the Limbaugh serve, but Algona returns the ball for their third straight point. Limbaugh from the left side serves it over. Cooper makes the first touch, guides Sweeter towards the boundary. In the middle, it's Subert hitting it over. In the back row, dug by Knapp for the Bulldogs. Van Otterloo sets it outside for Haynes. Haynes finds the corner along the near side. A perfectly placed ball by Reagan Haynes, and it's 19-15, and the Algona Bulldogs have their momentum back. So Algona on top 19-15 here, 4 straight points, and it'll be a timeout taken by Coach Sarah Miller and the Hampton-Dumont-CAL Bulldogs. Like I said, if Algona wins here tonight, they will clinch at least a second place in the North Central Conference, and not only that, but they'll just keep the momentum going heading into their home tournament this weekend and into the postseason next week as well. For Class 3A, postseason will get underway starting on Tuesday night, as Algona will be at home. They are the 4 seed in their region. It's Class 3A Region 3, as Algona will take on Southeast Valley in that one. Winner will take on the winner of top-seeded Cherokee Washington and number 8 seed in the region, Eagle Grove, in the second round. Meanwhile, Hampton-Dumont-CAL, they're in Region 5 here in Class 3A. They're going to be at 27-7 at Roland Story on Tuesday night. Winner of that one will play against the winner of Williamsburg and PCM. That Region 5 bracket, by the way, is where Humboldt resides in as well. Humboldt, the top seed in that bracket, will take on Charles City in the first round as Limbaugh serve trickles over the tape. A diving dig in the back row by Brock over Hampton-Dumont. Ball goes back to Brock, and she'll play the free ball to the Algona side. Van Otterloo sets it outside for Haynes. Haynes brings down a huge swing, but what a diving save by Albers in the back row, and it's sent back over by Subert. Knapp gets it up to Van Otterloo. In the middle, it's Dunning. She'll push it towards the corner. A lunging save by Albers for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Punched around in the free ball over the net by Braca. Knapp for Algona finds Van Otterloo. Now it's Haynes. Haynes' attack blocked right back to her. Ball's near the net. Hit by Dunning, but stuffed right back. Hampton-Dumont-CAL really stuck with that play extremely well. as I believe it was Subert again in the front row, the 5'10" junior getting the block on that and making the score 19-16. Boy, Haynes had one swing during that volley that was huge, and it was Albers saving the possession with the diving dig that prevented the Algona point, as the serve will go over the net and drop in front of Dons for the ace. Dons tried to dive out of the back row to get that, but Subert will make it 19-17. Back-to-back Hampton-Dumont-CAL points. Subert set up to the near side of the court, right near the corner, but Subert put a little too much gas on that serve as it shoots out of bounds. Big error right there to make it 20-17. Algona still in the driver's seat, but Hampton-Dumont-CAL needing a run here to try to steal this second set, that is. Dunning a twisting serve, just trickled over the net. Albers again out of the back row for a nice dig. Ball flutters back to Albers, who plays the free ball over the net. Haynes to Van Otterloo, looking back to Haynes on the left side. She'll guide it across, but it's blocked by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. The double block by Braca and Sweeter. And Hampton-Dumont-CAL not going away in this second set. You gotta give them credit. With the way the first set went, that big 15-0 run by Algona could have easily deflated them, but they played right with Algona in set two. The serve is rifled over by Hansen. The dig by Limbaugh, the set by Van Otterloo. McLaughlin tried to float it over, but right to the hands of Braca, who sets it back on the Algona side, and it's 20-19. Hampton-Dumont-CAL's deficit is now down to 1. Hansen up the serve. Limbaugh and Dodds converge. Tapped over the net by McLaughlin, a diving save by Eilderts, and then it's punched back over the net by Braca. Van Otterloo tries to tap it over on second contact, and Braca stuffed it again! We are tied at 20. Boy, this is a good rotation here for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Albers there in the back row playing really good defense, and then Braca in the front row blocking extremely effectively right now. Hansen serves far side to Dodds, set by Van Otterloo, attacked by McLaughlin. Dug in the back row by Albers. Hansen centers the ball. Helskov will free ball it over to Knapp. Van Otterloo sets for Algona. Haynes flies in for the attack. Cross court, and it goes out of bounds. And Hampton-Dumont-CAL is in the lead, 21-20. Timeout-wise, Hampton-Dumont doesn't have any left in this set. Algona still does have one, but Coach Berkey wanted to save that maybe for at least one more point later on. The serve pinballed around, and Algona can't save it. It goes off the hands of Dodds, deflected by McLaughlin, and it's 22-20 Hampton-Dumont-CAL, and Algona forced to take a timeout. We'll take a quick timeout with them as well. Come back in 30 seconds after this on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
High school sports on Hometown Home Country Radio. Brought to you by these sports club members.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce, 2 sauces for all seasons.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
Dump It, Kasuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Erpelding Excavating Enterprises. Let them take care of your grading, excavating, and drainage needs.
Fairway, everything's easier, fresher, and faster with Algona Fairway.
All bringing you this game.
Back inside the Hampton-Dumont-CAL High School Gymnasium, it's a 5-0 scoring run by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. They have shockingly turned around this second set. Hampton-Dumont-CAL on top 22-20, but a big service error as Hansen sends it into the net. Boy, is that a big point for Algona, who was reeling there for a minute. Now can Taylor Van Otterloo breathe a breath of fresh air into Algona's attack here at the serve. Deflected backwards by Eilderts, chased down by Albers, and a free ball played over the net by Cooper. Knapp up front to Van Otterloo, in the middle McLaughlin, and McLaughlin puts it down! Off a perfect short set by Taylor Van Otterloo, and we are tied at 22. And boy, did that miss serve by Hansen seem to change the momentum. Now it's a race to 25. Van Otterloo offers up the serve towards Eilderts. Passes a little off target to Hansen, centers the ball where Braca tips it over. Limbaugh to Dodds, back to Limbaugh, and Limbaugh right hands it over the net. Albers in the back row for Hampton-Dumont, gets it up front to Braca, hit over by Cooper. Right there's Knapp in the Algona back row to play it. Set for McLaughlin. McLaughlin hits it again, off the hands of Eilderts for an Algona kill. Hayden McLaughlin with a couple big moments right there, and it's 23-22. That time the operation not quite as clean for Algona. McLaughlin had to hesitate a bit before hitting that ball, but stayed focused, got it over, and Algona's up by 1. Van Otterloo serve towards Eilderts. Good pass that time to Hansen. Outside it's Helskov. Helskov hammers it down into the hardwood. We're tied at 23. That was one of the better executed serve receives of the night for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. A perfect pass, a perfect set, and Helskov finishes off the point. Remember, got to win by 2 here, tied at 23. Helskov knuckleball serve finds Limbaugh on the Algona side. It is Dodds pushing it over. It's blocked by Hampton-Dumont-CAL on the far side. And it's 24-23. Boy, the blocking has been so much better for Hampton-Dumont here in set 2. Braca has been punishing in the front row. Halskov serves, dug by Limbaugh. Van Otterloo sets, here comes Limbaugh, and Limbaugh misfires on the attack. It's into the net, and Hampton-Dumont-CAL comes back to steal the second set as the hometown crowd comes to their feet. We are tied at 1, 25-23 in the second set as Hampton-Dumont-CAL takes it. We'll come back with the third set after this on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube channel.
Some of the most significant power outages in recent years have been caused by extreme cold weather and severe storms. Whether it's snow, ice, or extreme wind, don't be caught in the dark. At Murphy Farm Services, our top-of-the-line Generac or Cummins generators will automatically power your home in the event of a power loss. Already have a standby generator? Call us today to get on our preventative maintenance list to ensure your machine is running at its maximum efficiency. Contact your local certified ag, electrical, and generator sales and service dealer, Murphy Farm Services, delivering the power you need when you need it.
We've got more sports club members bringing you this broadcast.
Camco Tires, they're all you need to know about tires and service.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
Reeb's Wicked Good Bar and Grill. For wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeb's.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and the surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Algona Pizza Ranch, there's so much to love.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
We welcome you back to Hampton-Dumont-CAL High School, where we are now tied at 1 set apiece. Algona rolled in the first set 25-10, but Hampton-Dumont-CAL stuns Algona in the second set 25-23 in this battle between the 16-4 Algona Bulldogs and the 4-21 Hampton-Dumont-CAL Bulldogs. Although I will say there have been a couple moments this season, you look at some Hampton-Dumont-CAL scores where they played close in some sets, but they just had trouble finishing things off. You look at their match against Clear Lake, even their match against Humboldt earlier this year. They've had some competitive moments, but again, it's just a matter of trying to finish off sets, and that time they finished well. It was a 20-17 Algona lead. Looked like Algona was going to escape with maybe a sloppy win in the second set, but a 5-0 run by Hampton-Dumont-CAL got them ahead 22-20. Even after the Algona Bulldogs tied it, Hampton-Dumont-CAL got a couple of big blocks late, and Algona drops the second set, although they look pretty loose coming out of the timeout. Still some smiles on the Bulldog faces as they try to get back in order here and get back on top of Hampton-Dumont-CAL. We're getting the final preparations wrapped up here. They're checking out Albers on the Hampton-Dumont-CAL side. Don't know if she got hit in the face, but they were checking her lip. Wonder if she had a cut lip there in one moment, but she appears to be all right, as it'll be Van Tiger to serve for Algona to start things off in this third set. Again, tied at 1 apiece in this final NCC match of the regular season from Hampton-Dumont-CAL High School. The Bulldog junior Van Tiger puts it in the air, and we're underway in the third set as it flutters toward the near side. Halskov gets it up front to Hansen in the middle. It's guided over and dropped in by Subert. 1-0 Hampton-Dumont-CAL. That set was a little behind the head of Subert there, but she adjusted that arm midair, hit it at an awkward angle, and planted that ball in the middle of the Algona defense to give Hampton-Dumont-CAL a 1-0 lead. Elsie Cooper, the 5'8 junior, serves end over end. Knapp tumbling out of the back row to dig that ball, and it's pushed across by McLaughlin. Albers plays the free ball for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Now it's Knapp in front of Van Otterloo, sets it high in the air for Limbaugh. Limbaugh parachutes into the attack, and it is pulled out of bounds. Pulled out of bounds along the left side, and Hampton-Dumont-CAL will push ahead 2-0. Cooper right hands the serve over the net. Dug by Van Tiger for Algona. A set by Van Otterloo, an attack by McLaughlin. Played in the back row by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Here's Albers flying in for the attack. Blocked by McLaughlin, kept alive by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. And Super trying to push it over, but misfires on that one and pushes it into the net instead. It's 2-1 Algona. Subert mistimed that jump apparently, and then almost hit the ball for forearms there instead of hitting it flush on her hands. Knapp serves from the middle, guides the ball towards the far side of the court. Here's a set by Sweeter, the attack by Subert, and Subert gets that one to drop on the Algona side to give Hampton-Dumont-CAL a 3-1 lead. Looked like a bit of a tip there at the net for Algona, but not much of a deflection up in the air to let anyone come and cover that block, and it's 3-1. Albers end over end serve. Then Tiger up front to Van Otterloo, sets backside for Limbaugh from the right. She attacks. It is pushed forward by Cooper and pushed across by Helskov, and she'll find the back corner. Van Tiger had to turn her back to the net, sprint towards the far corner and try to plant it over her shoulder, but couldn't get any air underneath that ball, and it's 4-1 Hampton-Dumont-CAL. A totally different Hampton-Dumont-CAL team than we saw in the first set. Albers twisting the serve towards Knapp. Got it up front to Dodds, who sets this time for Limbaugh. Limbaugh attacks on the right side. Can't put it down, though, as the tip is covered by Hampton-Dumont-CAL and flung across by Subert, and it flutters out of bounds. Knapp gave that one a good, long, hard look in the Bulldog back row before wisely letting it drop beyond the baseline and giving Algona the point. 4-2 Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Dodds offers the serve up, dug by Albers, punched around, and Hampton-Dumont-CAL is out of hits. Albers deflected that one sideways to Heilskov and couldn't really elevate that ball much as it's 4-3. Dodds, end-over-end serve, hit up in the air by Cooper. Sweeter sets for Subert. Subert flies in, but it's blocked. Limbaugh and Dunning getting there to the net to challenge Subert and stuff that ball to tie it at 4. Subert, I'll tell you this, she does not get cheated. When she takes a swing, she's taking a big swing, which does sometimes allow your blockers to time it up pretty well. Dodds serve received by Cooper. The set goes to Helskov. Helskov punched it over her shoulder, kept it alive by Knapp on the dive, and Limbaugh got it back across. It's pushed over by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Ball towards the boundary, and it lands in the bleachers. Algona can't return that ball that was eventually returned by Hampton-Dumont-CAL, and it's 5-4. Boy, Knapp made an incredible dive in front of the Bulldog bench to keep that point alive briefly, but Hampton-Dumont-CAL with the pressure continuing, up 5-4. Subert rifles the serve over, and it lands out of bounds past the baseline to tie it at 5. And Limbaugh coming in to serve. We're going back, I should say, to serve for Algona as Haynes is coming in for Van Tiger in this Bulldog rotation. Hampton-Dumont-CAL playing better defense in the back row, and like I said, blocking extremely well up front. Albers gets it up front to Sweeter. Sweeter to Helskov, guides it over, a diving save by Knapp for Algona. Haynes attacks the other way. Albers digs again. Sweeter sets in the middle. Braca guides it over, tapped by Van Otterloo, kept alive by Dodds, and free ball played over by Van Otterloo. Eilderts gets it up front to Sweeter, flying in his Helskov, and Helskov punishes that one for the Algona back row. A mighty kill that time from the right hand of Helskov, and it's 6-5 Hampton-Dumont-CAL. I don't know what their coaching staff told them after some early struggles, but this is looking like a much smoother, much more cohesive Hampton-Dumont-CAL team. After some early struggles tonight, Hansen serves, dug by Limbaugh for Algona. Overpassed that ball. Helskov tried to flush it, kept alive though, and Dunning gets the free ball back to the Hampton-Dumont-CAL side. Here's Hansen setting it up on the backside for Cooper. Right hands it over the net. Knapp there for the dig. Van Otterloo short set for Dunning. Dunning guides it over. Eilderts digs for Hampton-Dumont. The set by Hansen, the attack by Helskov. Blocked back by Algona. Kept alive by Hampton-Dumont and pushed across by Albers. Ball deflected around on the Algona side, ends up at Haynes. Haynes right hands it over, and a miscommunication in the Hampton-Dumont-CAL back row as it goes in between Eilderts and Albers. It's an Algona point, and we are tied at 6. Very defensive point there, long volley, and we are all locked up here in the third set. Algona taking set 1, Hampton-Dumont-CAL taking set 2. Dunning serves towards the far side. Eilderts up front to Hansen. Hansen's set is off target. It flutters over the net, and it's an Algona point. That ball not staying in between the posts, and it's 7-6 Algona. The setting has also been a lot better for Hampton-Dumont-CAL as of late, but that one off target, and Algona ahead by 1. Dunning serve goes to Albers, middle of the back row. Helskov hits it down the line. Right there is Dunning for Algona. The set by Van Otterloo. The attack by Haynes hits that one past the back row. It was not tipped by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. It was not tipped as it goes out of bounds, and we are tied at 7. Set 3 action here as it'll be Helskov going down to our right to set up the serve. Helskov floats this one over. Dodds hits it sideways to Van Otterloo. Now Limbaugh flies in from deep to attack, but the serve will go out of bounds. And it's the hit by Limbaugh will go out of bounds, and it's 8-7 Hampton-Dumont-CAL. As another serve coming here for Helskov. Knapp receives it, overpass the ball a little bit. Van Otterloo tried to hit that one over on the second touch, but Albers was able to force that one back onto the Bulldog side. The Algona Bulldog side, that is, and it's 9-7. 9-7 Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Helskov for the serve, Knapp for the dig. Van Otterloo sits it high in the air for Limbaugh. Gets that one across to the Hampton-Dumont-CAL back row. Tapped over by Hansen on second contact, and this will be an Algona point. 2 touches against Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Getting called there on Hansen. And Algona has the serve back for Van Otterloo. Van Otterloo with 16 aces on the season coming into tonight, serving at 90.5% efficiency. Right hands it over the net towards the boundary. Halskov plays it along the far side. Hansen gets it back to the center where Brock hits it over. Going down to the knees to dig it is Van Otterloo. Dodge to the middle to Haynes. Haynes got that one to drop over the tape for an Algona point. Haynes hit that one with a lot of downward momentum, bent the whole net downwards, but it springboards its way into the Hampton-Dumont-CAL side, and we are tied at 9. Van Otterloo rockets that serve out of bounds, got underneath that one as it went almost all the way to the basketball baseline. Hampton-Dumont-CAL back in front 10-9. We'll see if Hampton-Dumont-CAL can continue this consistency as they work their way around this lineup. Braca now serving, and Braca has been such a weapon in the front row. You almost hate to see her back there if you're Hampton-Dumont-CAL because she's been blocking so well up front. Braca hits it towards Limbaugh, the Bulldog back row, got the pass to Van Otterloo, the set for McLaughlin. McLaughlin hammers, but it's dug in the back row by Halskov. McLaughlin tries again, got it blocked right back to her by Subert. Kept alive as Haynes finds Van Otterloo, and she'll push it across. Hansen to Hansen as Hansen tips it over. Noelle Hansen drops it in for a Hampton-Dumont-CAL point. Noelle Hansen from the right side. And it's 11-9 Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Braca for a sign to the net. Releases the serve towards the Algona side. That one is fluttering out of bounds, out beyond the baseline. As we've seen a few service errors traded back and forth for this third set. 11-10 Hampton-Dumont-CAL. As Van Tiger will serve for Algona, their leader in serve efficiency on the season. The jump serve by Van Tiger comes to the near side. Albers up front to Hansen, got it to Subert. Subert had that ball tipped in the net by Algona, but that second touch guided Dodds to the boundary, and Dodds, despite her best effort, couldn't guide that one in between the posts. And it's 12-10 Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Algona still struggling to find that rhythm that they had in the first set and get a really good attack going offensively. They have been on their heels here as of late against Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Serve sent over by Cooper. Knapp will find Van Otterloo up front. Here's Limbaugh for an attack, and Limbaugh puts that one into the hardwood. That's what Algona's looking for offensively. Not exactly rocket science there. You got to try to find number 8 on the court out there somewhere, and it's 12-11. Hampton-Dumont-CAL's lead now at 1. The senior Knapp sends it over. Popped in the air by Halskov. Now Albers on the second touch. Cooper in the middle will play the free ball to Algona. Backpedaling is Van Tiger. Got it up front to Van Otterloo on the Bulldog logo. Now Dodds pushes it towards the back row. Halskov for Hampton-Dumont-CAL up front to Sweeter. Here's Subert. Subert got blocked though. It's Dunning and Limbaugh getting up front to contest that one and tie it at 12 apiece. And again, the Bulldogs of Algona have seen the cards that Subert's playing. They know exactly the rate that she's going to swing at, and that she's not really going to throw a change-up at them as Sweeter puts it over on second contact. Algona ready for it as here comes Dodds. Dodds right-handed attack, just a bit too long. Out beyond the baseline, and Hampton-Dumont-CAL back in front 13-12. We've really seen the blocking up front become the main storyline tonight. Which team can do that better and time up the opposing attackers? Serve sent over by Albers for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Here's a right side attack by Limbaugh. Nice dig in the back row by Albers. Sweeter sets it high in the air for Halskov, who pushes it down the line. Right there is Knapp for Algona. Van Otterloo back to Limbaugh in the middle. Ball's blocked by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Subert got her bear claw on that, and she'll reject it over the net to make it 14-12 Hampton-Dumont-CAL. So back and forth we go in this third set. Set number 1 seems like a distant memory at this point for Algona. With a dogfight on their hands, no pun intended, on the road. Limbaugh will push it over to Dunning. Dunning taps it over the net. Another diving save by Cooper for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Halskov punishes that ball as it caught Knapp, but she popped it up in the air, and now Limbaugh hits it across. Sweeter sets for Hampton-Dumont-CAL, flying out of the back row is Albers. Diving save by Macy Knapp, and keeping it out of the net is Belicho Dunning. A free ball played across by Van Otterloo. Sweeter sets in the middle. Here's Subert tapping it over. Right there to cover the ball is Van Tiger. Set in the middle for Dunning. Dunning guides it across. The official looks, and they say it's in play. It is in play. Not exactly an emphatic signal from the baseline official, but he says that ball was in play for Dunning, and it's 14-13. Algona sticking around here. Served by Dodds. Ball overpass and hammered by Limbaugh. Right into the body of Cooper, and we are tied at 14. Anyone in the front row's eyes will light up when they see a gift-wrapped ball coming their way just like that. Sweeter over to Helskov into the net on that third touch, and it's 15-14 Algona. Hampton-Dumont-CAL never getting it going on that possession. And Dons will continue here to serve. The Bullong Jr. reloads and fires, and her serve will squeeze for that back row for a Bullong point. A couple players caught looking at each other as Braca and Cooper couldn't decide who to take that ball, and a timeout called by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. So with that timeout, we'll take it as well. Back after this on Hometown Radio KLGA and the Algona Radio YouTube channel.
Thank you to these sports club members making this broadcast possible.
Runkey Brothers. Experience the Runkey Brothers difference for all your auto service and repair needs.
Strowman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
TAFE Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong, keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
Tangle's Salon for all your cuts, colors, hair extensions, and massage therapy needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
Ulrich Construction, let them do the work.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service, call 295-SOFT.
All bringing you this broadcast.
Back inside the Hampton-Dumont-CAL High School Gymnasium. Algona on top 16-14 in set 3. Both teams having taken one set so far. An overpass ball. Limbaugh trying to push it back. Sent right back over by Hampton-Dumont-CAL though, and Algona can't rescue the ball as Sweeter will win the fight for that one. And it's 16-15. Hampton-Dumont-CAL down by just one now. Algona getting all they can handle on the road here tonight. They have gotten a big-time test here from Hampton-Dumont-CAL as Eilderts will uncork the serve into the net and give Algona a freebie there to make it 17-15. Algona won the first set in commanding fashion, 25-10. Algona was in the driver's seat in set 2, but Hampton-Dumont-CAL rallied to win 25-23, and then really no momentum here in this third set, just back and forth as it's 17-15 Algona right now. Ball is pushed across by Helskov for Hampton-Dumont, set by Van Otterloo, attacked by Haynes. What a dig by Albers in the back row, as she's been excellent tonight. And it'll be guided across by Helskov, and she'll find the hardwood. Kept it inside that near side boundary for Hampton-Dumont-CAL, and it's 17-16. I cannot tell you how many points Albers has saved tonight for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. You think about her as one of the top leaders in kills on this Hampton-Dumont team, but her back row defense has been one of the biggest factors tonight, along with the blocking of Braca in the front row. Ball floated over by Dunning for Algona. Eilderts bumping it up in the air. Helskov flies in for the attack, but it is blocked by Algona. I believe that was Van Otterloo getting her hands on that one, and it's 18-16 Bulldogs. Dunning will serve right now. Hampton-Dumont-CAL, it seems like they've got a couple of lineups that work really well. When you get in a certain spot in the rotation, they can make it really tough. With Albers in the middle of that back row as the ball flutters out of bounds on the Dunning serve, and it's 18-17. When you've got Albers in the back row and Braca up front, that seems to be a really good defensive mix for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Although right now in this lineup, Albers is up front at this point as the serve is sent over the net by Helskov for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. An attack from the left side by Haynes. What a dig in the back row by Helskov. Now it's Albers from the left side, attacks, but Limbaugh able to fish it out and hit over the net by Haynes for Algona. A bump near the net. Hansen is able to fish that ball out, and it's guided across by Braca. Now Algona has Van Otterloo setting for Haynes. Haynes hits towards the back row, and Haynes finds the mark. Helskov had the diving attempt towards the corner, but Haynes placed that ball perfectly once again on the mark of pinpoint accuracy, and it's 19-17. That's been a big evolution of Reagan Haynes' game. The accuracy on those attacks as the Van Otterloo serve is sent out of bounds by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. It flutters over the net and into the boundary. But we saw younger Reagan Haynes sometimes try to do too much on some of those attacks, overhit the ball a little bit, but now, especially late here in her junior year, she's doing a really good job attacking directionally. Sometimes a 90% hit does the job better than a 105% swing, and I think Haynes has learned that. As Van Otterloo short set from McLaughlin, guides it over. That ball catches Kenley Hansen, but she saved it, and Albers plays the free ball over. Set by Van Otterloo. Dodge from the middle, got underneath that ball and lofted it out of bounds. It's 20-18 as Algona's lead at 2 right now. Off the attack airs, Hampton-Dumont-CAL staying afloat here in the third set. This pivotal third set to try to swing momentum and take that 2-1 lead. Remember, Hampton-Dumont-CAL, they've lost 18 straight matches against Algona. Their last win against Algona, September 13th of 2011. And showing they have an opportunity tonight. A short set for McLaughlin, and McLaughlin sneaks that ball over the net. Perfectly guided touch there by Hayden McLaughlin to make it 21-18. Saw a vacated spot along the Hampton-Dumont-CAL left side of the court and found it perfectly. Is an important 3-point lead right now for Algona. They were up by 3, almost this exact same spot in set number 2, and couldn't hang on. Can they hang on here in the third set? Ball's overpassed off the serve. Dodge to Van Otterloo. McLaughlin in the middle. She'll guide it to the same spot, but this time Albers is there to cover it. Hanson back to Albers, hits it across the court, and Albers finds the weak spot in the Algona defense. This time a perfectly guided ball by Albers from the left side. And it's a 21-19 score right now. Or is it? Well, we're having some discussion here if the officials and the coaches of Hampton-Dumont-CAL, they're actually now signaling Algona point. Well, maybe that ball was out of bounds. Sorry, folks, I didn't see exactly what that signal was. I just saw the point towards the Algona side, so Algona will take it, and it's 22-18. Hanson sets, and the hammer by Suberter, she puts it down. Boy, I don't know how Hanson stayed out of that net. That pass was very close to the net. Hanson's foot almost snuck underneath there, but perfect set in the middle of Subert, and it's 22-19. Subert, another good front row player, bringing that good 5'10" size for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. As Cooper will serve, you have to be just about perfect here if you're Subert. End over end serve, finds Knapp, pass to Van Otterloo, now Limbaugh on the left side. Limbaugh hits it, but can't put it down. Ball guided back to the center by Sweeter, and Albers plays the free ball across. Now Van Tiger to Van Otterloo. Here's Limbaugh flying in for the attack, and it is stuffed. It's Subert again, and it's 22-20. Boy, Subert has been following number 8 along all night long, looking to block, looking to make everything tough. And Hampton-Dumont-CAL will not go away in this third set. Algona's lead down to 2. Cooper hits it over on the serve. Right there, Van Tiger finds Van Otterloo. Limbaugh tries again. Ball deflected by the Hampton-Dumont-CAL blockers, but they can't return the balls and pinballs around on their side. They tried to cover that one up, but Limbaugh just hit that one too hard, and the blockers didn't quite get enough of that one, as it's 23-20. And Hampton-Dumont-CAL will expend a timeout here with set number 3 close to slipping away. Algona trying to put the finishing touches on the third set, up 23-20. We'll come back after this on KLGA and the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
Set number 3 continues here at Hampton-Dumont-CAL High School. Tied at 1 set apiece as Algona has the 23-20 lead in this third set. Macy Knapp with the serve, sends it over in the middle of the back row, popped up in the air by Bronca. The set by Sweeter, the attack by Albers, can't put it down as Limbaugh's there for the dig, but Limbaugh sent it into the net. Into the net on that one, and it doesn't get over as it's 23-21. Boy, when Hampton-Dumont-CAL took that second set, folks, the crowd exploded here. It's been a tough season for Hampton-Dumont at 4-21, but this place was electrified when Hampton-Dumont-CAL won the second set, and they're sticking around in this third set as Limbaugh floats it over the top and guides it in. The set wasn't exactly where she wanted it there, so she had to improvise in the air, but Limbaugh just tapped that one right over the net. It drops into that front row, and it's 24-21 as Algona has set point, trying to go up 2-1. Dodds end over end serve, well placed, but dug out by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Sweeter to the set, Helsko the attack, the dig by Knapp. Van Otterloo sets, Dunning trying to finish up the third set, and she does! Dunning able to put that one down, and Algona survives a hard-fought set 3. 25-21, the Algona Bulldogs are up 2-1, and we'll head to the fourth set coming up next on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube live stream.
We've got more sports club members.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants, where everyone counts.
Holmes Animal Clinic. Animals large and small, they love them all.
Hy-Vee, use the Fuel Saver card. Fill your cart, fuel your car.
J&J Custom Meats, continuing the traditions in Whittemore.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for healthcare.
Lichter's Garage Door Service, a reputation you can trust.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Engineered Farm Drainage, specializing in drainage tile solutions. Visit them on Facebook or engineeredfarmdrainage.com.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
We've got more sports club members.
Greg Penning and Company certified public accountants where everyone counts.
Holmes Animal Clinic. Animals large and small, they love them all.
Hy-Vee, use the Fuel Saver card. Fill your cart, fuel your car.
J&J Custom Meats, continuing the traditions in Whittemore.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for healthcare.
Lichter's Garage Door Service, a reputation you can trust.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Engineered Farm Drainage, specializing in drainage tile solutions. Visit them on Facebook or engineeredfarmdrainage.com.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Thank you to these sports club members making this broadcast possible.
Runkey Brothers. Experience the Runkey Brothers difference for all your auto service and repair needs.
Strowman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
TAFE Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong, keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
Tangle's Salon for all your cuts, colors, hair extensions, and massage therapy needs.
Tom Eishen Sales, your store in the country, carrying Steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
Ulrich Construction, let them do the work.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service, call 295-SOFT.
All bringing you this broadcast.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
Hey Bulldog fans, this is Reagan Haynes and you're listening to Algona Volleyball on KLGA.
As we come back to Hampton-Dumont-CAL High School for the Battle of the Bulldogs, we are certainly having a battle tonight. Algona on top 2-1 as the Algona Bulldogs took the first set 25-10. Hampton-Dumont-CAL took the second set 25-23, and Algona winning in the third set 25-21. So it's been a bit of a struggle so far tonight for Algona, but we'll see if they're able to clean up the act a little bit here in between these in between these third and fourth sets, I should say, and try to put this one away in 4 sets. Again, a credit to Hampton-Dumont-CAL. They came in. It's been a tough season, like I said, a young team without any seniors, just a 4-21 record, but they have fought tooth and nail against Algona tonight after a disappointing first set. They have played neck and neck with Algona for long stretches of time in the second and third sets. So Hampton-Dumont-CAL getting the rotation in order right now. They were off by 1 there, but I think they've now got it straightened out over on their side here before we begin this fourth. And Algona fans are hoping final set. Like you mentioned earlier, if Algona wins tonight, they will lock up second place outright in the North Central Conference. If Humboldt gets upset by St. Edmund, they could get tied for first, but it is hard to imagine Humboldt, like I said, losing an NCC match this season. Humboldt, in fact, has not lost a single set in the NCC. All their NCC matches this year have been 3-0 wins over the opposition. Algona playing Humboldt earlier in the year in Humboldt. So down to our right, getting ready to serve for Hampton-Dumont-CAL is Megan Sievers to get this fourth set underway. Sievers will send it right to left on the radio dial. Sievers puts the ball in the air in the fourth set underway here from Hampton-Dumont-CAL High School. Van Otterloo set Limbaugh on attack, and Limbaugh plants that one in the Hampton-Dumont-CAL corner. 1-0 Algona off the Limbaugh kill. Limbaugh has been leading the way in Class 3A with 5.2 kills per set. She's averaging almost 13 attempts per set as well, which is also first in Class 3A, as she has been fed over and over again by the Algona Bulldogs this year. Served by Macy Knapp, ball overpassed by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Hanson tries to save it, but she cannot. Hanson, I should say, was tight roping along the net that time. Tried to fingertip the ball out of the net to make sure she didn't get a lift called against her, but that was where the point ended, and it's 2-0 Algona. Hanson sets in the middle for Subert. Subert guides this one past the Algona defense and drops it down onto the hardwood. It's 2-1 here off the Subert kill, and Hampton-Dumont-CAL goes side out as Cooper will go back to serve. You know, again, for a 4-21 team, this Hampton-Dumont-CAL, they've got some nice players on their team as the serve will go out of bounds by Cooper. Subert's been incredibly impressive tonight, as Subert is a junior, so she'll be back next year. Housegrove, a sophomore, has had some really impressive moments. Albers has played some great defense. Albers, a junior. Braca, a sophomore, good defense as well. As here's a Bulldog point, making it 4-1. Dodds will serve again after that last ace, as she'll send it over. Dug by Braca on the serve. Ball is near the net, and it's forced over by Algona to make it 5-1. That's set by Sweeter, or that second touch by Sweeter. Trying to stay out of the net there as Dodds serves it over the net. Here's Sweeter. Better pass. Good set this time. Attacked by Braca, and Braca guides this one to the far side and puts it in. That'll make the score 5-2 as Hampton-Dumont-CAL gets the serve back. Both Hampton-Dumont kills in this third set delivered by Braca. And Albers will be serving. Albers walks up and sends it over for the right hand. Van Tiger line drives the pass to Van Otterloo. Attacked by Dunning, doesn't go down. Bump set by Sweeter, tapped over the net by Halskov. Punched up in there and kept alive by Algona. They got it right to Limbaugh. Ball gets overpassed right back to the Bulldogs. Van Tiger to Van Otterloo to Limbaugh. Tries again down the line. And that ball will hit off the post right in front of the official as Hampton-Dumont-CAL cannot return this ball from Limbaugh. It is 6-2 Algona. Hampton-Dumont-CAL's done a pretty good job for the most part, trying to go up against Limbaugh when she attacks. You've got to at least tip the ball at the net a little bit, try to slow down the momentum. It takes the pressure off the back row as Limbaugh's serve ripples into the net. Service error will give it right back to Hampton-Dumont-CAL as the score 6-3 Algona in this fourth set. Setting up to the near side of the court is Subert. The junior end-over-end serve. Dodds, nice dig coming out of the back row. Van Otterloo to Dunning, and Dunning runs into Dodds, and the ball will not be sent back across by Algona as the two Blue Monk players collide right there to make the score 6-4. Subert one step inside the basketball baseline, walks up and sends another serve over, twisting towards Knapp along the far side of the court. Haynes along the boundary gets it to Dodds, and Dodds free balls it over the net. Ball's hammered over, but it's hit too hard. Braca saw a ball floating towards the front row where she was right in the middle, and she wanted to punish that one, but got underneath it and hit it out beyond the baseline. Claps her hands in frustration because she knows that was a point waiting to happen, and she couldn't capitalize. 7-4 Algona. Dunning serve, deflects over the net and drops in. That serve was in the direction of Sweeter in the Hampton-Dumont-CAL front row. She was ready for the ball just to come straight to her, but the ball pogoed off the top of the net and over Sweeter's head to make it 8-4. Another serve by Dunning just got over the net, and that ball is sent into the scoring table. It is off the hands of Cooper, and back-to-back aces by Beljo Dunning. 9-4 Algona. Trying to take command and shut the door here in set 4. Dunning sends it to the far side this time to Eilderts. Pass was off target near the net. Sweeter has to send it to the back row, and Albers will play the free ball to Algona. Van Otterloo sets to Haynes along the left side. Haynes hits the ball into the center, and it's off the hands of Albers for an Algona point, and it's 10-4 Algona Bulldogs. The Hampton-Dumont-CAL defense not nearly as sharp so far in set 4 as they were in sets 2 and 3, as Algona mowing their way down here for the serves. Good dig that time by Albers on Hampton-Dumont. The set by Sweeter, the attack by Halskov. Can't put it down. It's a nice diving dig by Dunning and hit across by Limbaugh. Sweeter taps it up in the air. Braca tries to guide that one over, but I believe that was a net violation there against Hampton-Dumont-CAL as Cooper got called, and it's 11-4. Well, they signaled 10 for Cooper, but I think they meant 1 for Braca. But 11-4 Algona in any case, as Halskov hits that attack off the hands of Dunning in the back row, and Hampton-Dumont-CAL gets the kill to make it 11-5. Dunning actually tried to get her hand out of the way of that ball, but Halskov hit that one with so much fire coming out of it that Dunning couldn't pull the hand back in time and touched it on the way out. Algona's lead at 6 points right now. The serve by Hansen, a dig by Limbaugh in the Algona back row. Set by Van Otterloo, attacked by Haynes. Haynes plants it right in the back row. Albers let it go, but again, another perfectly guided ball by Reagan Haynes. I'll make the same comment I made in the previous set. Haynes is really not trying to overhit the ball. She has really done a good job tonight at picking her spots, and again, an accurate attack at 90% velocity is better than an inaccurate one at 100% velocity. As it's hit down the line by Halskov, and Halskov will get the kill for Hampton-Dumont-CAL and make it 12-6. And she will get the serve as well. So Hampton-Dumont-CAL leading run here as Algona tries to pull away in the fourth set. Halskov right hands it over the net. Limbaugh gets it up front to Van Otterloo. Short set to McLaughlin. McLaughlin taps it over the net. Right there, Albers for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Hansen back to Albers. Hits it over, and it drops in. Algona looked a little out of position that time. They had two blockers right up at the net, but no one in the immediate vicinity right behind the blockers as the Albers kill makes it 12-7. Halskov serves right to left on the radio dial. It trickles off the top of the tape. Deflected sideways by Dodds. Nap to Limbaugh, and she'll right-handed over the net. Almost dropped in, pinballed around, and pushed across by Halskov for Hampton-Dumont. Van Otterloo sets for Haynes. Haynes attacks, and it is off the belly of Halskov for a Bulldog point, 13-7. Ball was misjudged in the back row that time. Halskov thought that one was coming in at eye level, but it was a sinker thrown in there by Reagan Haynes. That ball almost hit Halskov in the gut to result in the Bulldog point. 13-7 as Van Tiger sends it over. Albers up front to Hansen, sets backside for Hansen. It is blocked, but the block goes out of bounds as it was sent wayward by Limbaugh, and it's 13-8. The set was by Kenley Hansen, the junior. The hit over the net was by Noel Hansen for Hampton-Dumont-CAL, a sophomore. As another sophomore, Braca will punch this serve towards the net and misfires on that serve. Ball goes into the net, and it's 14-8 Algona, maintaining a pretty steady 5-6 point lead in this fourth set, with Algona on top 2-1 right now. Knapp angles her way towards the serve. Sent over the net where it's dug by Braca. Hansen now finds Halskov, hammers it off the top of the tape. Slowed down enough for Knapp to deflect it. Dodds hits it the other way, but Dodds will arc this one out of bounds, and it's a Hampton-Dumont-CAL point to make it 14-9. Out of bounds along the Hampton-Dumont-CAL student section on the far side of the court. They've been sitting down a lot so far tonight. Besides that scintillating end to the second set when Hampton-Dumont-CAL rallied to steal it away. Cooper serves it over. Dodds with the set, and it's pushed across by Dunning for Algona. And then a miscommunication on the Hampton-Dumont-CAL side. A couple players converging there, as Subert and Sweeter both ended up in the same spot. Neither one really took charge of that play. The serve by Dodds, and then ball mishandled by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. They got the first touch off, and then once again, another miscommunication. No one going to get that ball, as Dodds has put a couple of points on the board via serve for Algona. End-over-end serve towards Braca in the back row. Sweeter finds Albers. Albers hits it across. The dig by Van Tiger for Algona. The set by Van Otterloo. The attack by Limbaugh, and she pulled it out of bounds. 16-10. Limbaugh is just missing along the far side. Just a little bit off here tonight with the calibration. Might be this new hard run of Hampton-Dumont as the serve trickles over the net from Albers. Van Otterloo puts it over on second contact for Algona. Sweeter sets for Halskov. Halskov's attack is blocked back by Dunning and Van Otterloo. Kept alive by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Halskov guides this ball over now to Knapp. It's Van Otterloo setting for Dunning. Dunning hammers it across the court, and Dunning puts it in. 17-10 Algona. And Hampton-Dumont-CAL will take the timeout here, as they will try to get some momentum back, but it's a 7-point lead for Algona in the fourth set. We'll come back to Hampton-Dumont-CAL High School after this on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
Some of the most significant power outages in recent years have been caused by extreme cold weather and severe storms. Whether it's snow, ice, or extreme wind, don't be caught in the dark. At Murphy Farm Services, our top-of-the-line Generac or Cummins generators will automatically power your home in the event of a power loss. Already have a standby generator? Call us today to get on our preventative maintenance list to ensure your machine is running at its maximum efficiency. Contact your local certified ag, electrical, and generator sales and service dealer. Murphy Farm Services, delivering the power you need when you need it.
Hey Bulldog fans, this is Macy Knapp, and you're listening to Algona Volleyball on KLGA.
Set number 4 at Hampton-Dumont-CAL High School. Algona on top 2-1, as Algona also has the lead 17-10 in this fourth set. Bulldogs have had some moments of struggle tonight. Both Bulldogs, in fact, had moments of struggle tonight, but Algona is trying to put this one away in 4 and move on to their home weekend tournament prior to the postseason. It is Limbaugh to serve, angles her way towards the line and sends it over. Cooper up front to Sweeter. Here's an attack by Halskov. It's popped up in the air by Haynes, and a free ball played across by Limbaugh for Algona. Sweeter pops it over on second contact. Right there, Haynes for Algona. Van Otterloo back to Haynes. Haynes hammers, but she misfires on the attack. It's into the net, and that'll go as a Hampton-Dumont-CAL point to make it 17-11. Getting pretty close to now or never time for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. You start to see that point total for Algona tick up to 20, and it feels less and less likely for a comeback as Subert line drives the serve. Right there's Knapp sliding down to her knees. Van Otterloo to Haynes, who pushes it across towards the Hampton-Dumont-CAL back row. Sweeter sets it up for Halskov. Halskov hammers across court off the hands of Limbaugh and gets a big kill for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. 17-12 now the score, as Hampton-Dumont-CAL tries to rally here in this fourth set. Down by 5 right now. Subert along the near side of the court. Twists the serve into the net. She tried to put some lateral spin on that one, but didn't get enough air underneath it. And the big service error will make it 18-12 Algona. Dunning now serves, as she had a couple of aces last time she was on the line. Rainbows the serve over. Eilderts, good pass front to Sweeter. Short set to Braca. Got blocked back to the Hampton-Dumont-CAL side. Kept alive, though, as Eilderts plays the free ball over to Algona. Van Otterloo setting for McLaughlin. McLaughlin punches that one over the net. Hampton-Dumont-CAL tries to return it. Halskov guides that over. Dug by Dunning in the Algona back row. Van Otterloo to Haynes. Haynes parachutes in for the attack, and she puts it down. Haynes hung in the air that time, getting ready to punch that ball over, and she delivers the Bulldog kill to make it 19-12. Dunning reloads and fires on the serve. Arcs the ball over the net. Albers digs in the back row. Sweeter sets. Halskov flies in. Halskov hammers it up the block. A nice dive by Limbaugh to keep it alive. And it's right-handed over the net by Dunning for Algona. Sweeter gets it into the back to Albers. Albers hits it. It's dug again by Dunning. It is Van Otterloo to Dodds. Hits it across the way. Hampton-Dumont-CAL gets the ball back into the center as Halskov pushes it towards the boundary, and it lands out of bounds. Halskov tried to be a little bit too fine there, and she guides the ball out of bounds to make it 20-12 Algona. 8 is tied for Algona's largest lead in this fourth set. 5 points away from finishing it 3-1. Dunning for the jump serve towards the far boundary, and it's off the hands of Eilderts, trying to pass to Sweeter up front, and hits it into the net instead. The Dunning ace makes it 21-12. Dunning continues to serve exceptionally well so far tonight for Algona. The approach in the jump service, she'll line drive this one. Popped up in the air by Albers, chased down by Sweeter, and Braca somehow got that free ball over the net, but it didn't stay in between the posts. That initial pass off target for Hampton-Dumont-CAL took the setter all the way to the boundary, and then Braca had to hit it from the boundary as well. And the Bulldogs of Algona are up by 10. Dunning's serve this time will ripple into the net, as the service error will give Hampton-Dumont-CAL the side out and make it 22-13. But damage done here if Bella-Jo Dunning serving. Kenley Hansen approaches and arcs it over. Limbaugh gets the pass up front to Van Otterloo, try to put it over, got it blocked, but set right back by McLaughlin. McLaughlin hits it again towards the Hampton-Dumont-CAL back row where it's played by Albers. Halskov cross-court attack, popped in there by Haynes, hits it over the net, sent over by Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Now McLaughlin pushes it back across, a diving dig by Eilderts, and a push across the net by Halskov. Van Otterloo sets middle for McLaughlin. McLaughlin hammers, diving save by Albers in the back row of Hampton-Dumont-CAL, and Halskov plays the free ball to Algona. Limbaugh to Van Otterloo, to Haynes on the outside. Big attack, and it drops in! It drops in! Hampton-Dumont-CAL tipped it, but they couldn't cover their blockers, and it's 23-13 Algona. Boy, the blocking in the front row did their job there, but someone's got to get out of the back row faster than that to get to the ball for Hampton-Dumont-CAL. 10-point Algona lead. Hansen sets it up in there for Halskov. Halskov brings down the punishment and puts the kill into the hardwood. 24-13. Halskov has sent a couple of missiles onto the Algona side tonight, that being one of them. As she will have the serve right now. Algona 2 points away here. Halskov arcs it over. Limbaugh and Dodds converge. They collide, and they can't play the ball as Halskov gets the ace. And it's 23-15. Algona's lead at 8 right now in this fourth set. Halskov again towards the boundary, and it's out of bounds. Dodds wisely lets that one go, and it's set point and match point for Algona off the service error by Halskov. It'll be the junior Van Tiger coming in for Algona, as she will serve and try to put this one away. Van Tiger from the far side of the court jumps in and serves it, goes over the net. Eilderts digs. Popped up in the air by Albers and hit across by Halskov. Van Tiger diving dig. Ball got set right back to Hampton-Dumont-CAL. It's pushed back across by Albers. Limbaugh attacks, and Limbaugh finishes this one off. Limbaugh will finish it off, and Algona wins in 4 tonight. The kill by Limbaugh to end it. 25-10 Algona in the first set. 25-23 Hampton-Dumont-CAL in the second set. Then the final two go to Algona, 25-21 and 25-15. We'll break for a quick timeout and come back after this to wrap it up on KLGA Hometown Radio.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com. When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation, or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game.
Erpelding Voigt & Company CPAs, building wealth beyond taxes.
Farm and Home Services. View their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Farmer State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Feed Mill Coffee Company, Algona's locally owned coffee shop.
Good Samaritan Society Algona, senior housing and services rooted in God's love.
Grassmasters, growing satisfied customers.
High Point Land Company, your trusted land partner in Algona. Call 515-320-2491.
Sponsoring this broadcast on Hometown Home Country Radio. More sports club members bringing you this game.
North Iowa Appliance Center, Highway 18 East in Algona, where they sell the best and service the rest.
Oak Crest Funeral Service, celebrating a life lived.
Phil's Auto and Truck Repair, service is the difference.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Schindler Lawn Care and Landscaping, 515-320-3840 or schindlerlawncare@gmail.com.
Signworks Inc. for all your signage needs and printed apparel. Stop in or call 295-9544.
All sponsoring this broadcast on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Hey Bulldog fans, this is Charlie Dodds and you're listening to Algona Volleyball on KLGA.
Wrapping things up tonight from Hampton-Dumont-CAL High School, where the Algona Bulldogs win the Battle of the Bulldogs tonight, taking the first set 25-10. Hampton-Dumont-CAL wins the second set 25-23, but after that, it's 25-21 and 25-15. Algona winning in the final two sets. We do have an update from St. Edmund High School, and it is not going to be Algona winning the conference title this year, as unsurprisingly, Humboldt sweeps St. Edmund tonight, 25-16, 25-8, and 25-12. So the North Central Conference standings are going to be finalized here tonight. Humboldt finishes undefeated in the conference. In fact, they win every single set in the conference this year, and Algona, if they win tonight, they go to 6-1 in the conference, and the Algona Bulldogs lock up second place in the NCC this year. But with the win tonight, Algona goes to 17-4. Again, a 6-1 record in the NCC to lock up second place in the league. Hampton-Dumont-CAL will fall to 4-22 for their 8th straight loss. They will drop to 2-5 in league play. Overall tonight, though, I will say, you go into this one looking at the record and say, well, Algona, they've got all these wins, and Hampton-Dumont-CAL just 4 wins on the season. This one could be a little bit lopsided, but Hampton-Dumont-CAL, they punched above their weight class here tonight. They actually made things quite ugly at times for Algona, and I think when you talk of Coach Berkey after this one, I would imagine she'll probably say, that wasn't our best volleyball tonight. We're happy to get out of here with a win, but it was definitely not Algona's best performance. There are definitely some nights where you have to kind of slog through the match a little bit and just find a way to get a win, and that felt like one of these nights for Algona. There were very good stretches. You go back to the first set, it was about as dominant as you could get for Algona with that 25-10 win. After the early 9-8 lead the Algona Bulldogs had, they got off a big 15-0 run, and it felt like that's going to be how it is all night, domination. But credit to Hampton-Dumont-CAL, they improved their serve receive. They did a lot of better things defensively, some better play in the back row, as Albers played some really good back row defense, some good blocking up front, and they made it very hard tonight for Algona to get much of a flow going offensively. But ultimately, there were still issues depending on the lineup for Hampton-Dumont-CAL with the serve receive. Bella Jo Dunning had the late aces for Algona to help put it away, and ultimately the better team ended up prevailing tonight, but not without a test from Hampton-Dumont-CAL. Like we talked about earlier, not a single senior on this Hampton-Dumont-CAL varsity roster, so it may take a year or two for them to really get to where they want to as a volleyball program, but I would say they've got at least a couple foundational players who are going to be some pretty good players to be seeing on the volleyball court here for the next few years. So again, it's a challenge tonight for Algona, but they'll be happy to get out of here with a win and improve their win streak to 6 in a row. The Bulldogs of Algona will have their home tournament coming up on Saturday, and that will wrap up the regular season. After that, they are on to the postseason on Tuesday night by hosting Southeast Valley. Hampton-Dumont-CAL's postseason also beginning on Tuesday night, as they will head to Roland Story to begin the Region 5 bracket. That'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Got to give a big thank you, as always, to all our video streaming sponsors making our YouTube channel possible, as well as all our sports club members helping present this broadcast. This has been a sports production of Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream, as Algona defeats Hampton-Dumont-CAL tonight in 4 sets.